We're just about ready to get this match started, so let's bring in Yummy and CJ, who, first of all, I've got to say, we're absolutely roasting Scrub Killer yesterday. I'm wondering, who are they going to decide to pick on today? And I don't want to be the guy whoever Oxygen decides to sub out because he's going to get absolutely railed. But I thought it was hilarious stuff yesterday. Looking forward to this one again. Yeah, Yummy, maybe you can give us a bit of insight here into what's likely to happen for Oxygen. Are they confident coming into this one against Sandrock Gaming, who are expected to beat them in this matchup?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't really talked to them about this tournament at all, but I don't even know who's actually going onto the pitch for Oxygen at all either. But I did want to address the allegations that CJ, not me, took it way too far on Scrub Killer yesterday. And I don't think any apology is needed, but here are some suggestions on ways that you can make fun and ridicule CJ. Well, he hasn't been at RLCS for Worlds for 2 years. At Worlds, he's never won a single series. And if you really want to go the extra mile, he's got 2 first names, and he's decided to really double down on that one and call himself Cameron Johns. And you can go the extra step. He's Cameron Johns. How ridiculous is that? What an idiot. Get out of here.
Well, he's already out of here, apparently. CJ's had enough. But yeah, I always knew when we had Yummy and CJ together that this could be a real possibility, that one of them might just leave the cast halfway through. We saw that yesterday thanks to Discord lagging out. Yummy left CJ in the lurch, but I think CJ did a good job there, honestly. But yeah, have you got anything to say there to Yummy after these suggestions?
There's no criticism here.
Look, we'll be having words later, Johnny. Don't worry about that. But no, we'll keep it strictly professional today. There will be no bad bagging of opponents or people on the pitch, unless he gets opponents.
Apparently, playing anybody on the pitch for CJ is an opponent when he's casting.
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to this one, Johnny, today. Obviously, Sandrock Gaming, the 2v2 combination of O'Callid and Ahmad, hopefully, I'm assuming we'll have.
Yeah, it looks like
it'll be awesome. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to that.
Well, guys, we're about to get into the match. It looks like the players are just testing ping for the moment. We're going to get that one underway very, very shortly. I didn't have time to ask for your predictions, so that's the first thing I want to hear from you as I just shuffle out right now and let you guys take this away.
It is time to get underway, and it's also interesting to see a matchup of an RLCS team and a non-RLCS team be so one-sided towards that non-RLCS team. Oxygen, probably the weakest in twos of their game modes, and for SRG, maybe undecided just yet, the strongest 2v2 team in Europe.
Absolutely, and I'm just interested in what combination. Looks like we'll have Chauset and Astral coming out in the Oxygen lineup, so that'll be interesting. Probably the expected lineup. I don't think we saw like a combination with Pharaoh Astral. Perhaps we saw Pharaoh and Chauset. I can't quite remember from the qualifiers. Obviously, they have a lot of chemistry, but this should be a cracking matchup, Yummy. So yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, we did see Farah and Chauset as the switch-up in their final series. Both against Veloce, both of them lost their twos. Both combos lost their twos handily. I think it was a 4-1 and a 4-2 or something like that. It was not pretty at all, but they got through pretty much on their ones, on Astral taking out the ones victory and their threes. But, that does not say... Well, that's not a good sign for this one. For SRG, they win this. This is an important one because it's going to throw them up at the top of the ladder alongside alongside Singularity. And for Oxygen, obviously it's an important one because it could springboard them given their threes and ones power.
As it looks like we're getting underway in this matchup. And as you said, oh my goodness, they had an early goal there from Astral. I was going to say that Sandrock Gaming is so known for their 2v2 aspect with that Saudi Arabian kickoff, which we might see later on. But early on a whiff there from O'Callid and Astral bearing that one away.
Just an early mistake, maybe not a warm-up yet. for O'Callaghan. Expect them to step up a little bit more later, but Astral gets his second. He dunk 2 goals in 9 seconds, CJ.
I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Astral throughout this series. Probably coined as one of the most mechanical, if not the most mechanical player in the world, or perhaps Europe. And already a lovely little kickoff, and that's what twos can be all about, Yummy. Those kickoff goals, they can be crucial.
It's also not been too long since people were talking about Chaussette being the best in the world, and he's fallen off, so he's got a lot to prove here. But on the other end, O'Callaghan and Omad, top of the twos ladder, you know, 2 players that could be the top of the world right now, getting off to a bad start off their kickoffs where they're most known for in twos.
100%, and O'Callaghan as well. Is he number 1 in every single ranked leaderboard at the moment? It is ridiculous.
Yeah, yesterday,
unbelievable.
Yesterday he was only second in threes. A pretty piss poor performance, if you ask me. But he made up for it. He got back his number 1 spot overnight.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, you know, to get rank 1 in just one place is enough. Chaussette has an opportunity there and it sneaks it past Ahmed in the bottom left corner. Lovely little counter attack, and Oxygen already 3-0 up in game number 1.
You've really just caught SRG off guard. I don't think they were expecting him to come out this strong. And I guess for me, maybe Chaussette and Astral have been putting in the work throughout the week, put out in that twos practice, because for most of these RLCS teams, outside of some of the real grinders and streamers, they don't spend a lot of time in twos, in ranks, trying to get as good as possible in that game mode, because there isn't really any major competitions for it outside of this time.
Whereas for Sandrock Gaming, I really think that, as I said, they've really made a name for themselves, especially this pairing in the 2v2 format. With, you know, they're making their own kickoffs, they're getting creative with it. Obviously, with as they're unable to play in the RLCS, Yummy, they've really taken to the ranked and other community tournaments to make their name themselves as Astral's own goal. Oh, goodness. It is just pinged straight off the front of his car, Yummy. He has buried that in the top right corner, if you don't mind.
I mean, how much did Oxygen pay to Dignitas to get him to own goal like that? I don't know. Was it worth it? Probably not. That is a bad start here for Astral, because that's going to give 3 minutes, plenty of time for SRG to get back into this one. Unfortunate circumstances, of course, it bounced off awkwardly, but they're now going to have to make up for it as Ahmad looking to get this one past Chaussette. A 1v1 battle. Eventually, Chaussette uses his bolt to get through it, but doesn't set up the goal.
And Sandrock Gaming, affectionately known, Yummy, as the luckiest team in the world. And what a way to kick off the first goal of this series in the 2v2 format. An own goal.
I wonder if it's Sandrock or O'Callaghan. I don't know the full story. But certainly, yep, Lux in the chat whenever Sandrock do manage to somehow score. I don't know.
I think once is all luck, so, you know, I'm happy with what the chat are doing. Is almost a bump comes out there on Astral, and Chaussette now another counter-attack opportunity for Oxygen. Doesn't quite come to fruition here.
Let's see. Chaussette, not very much boosting. Actually backs off to let Astral come in. And Astral is bullied. O'Callaghan out of the corner. A chance on the other end now. This goes high, but Chaussette, he has missed it. O'Callaghan finds it. And that is bringing it to just 1 goal.
Yeah, that's just not the touch Chaussette was looking for. Tried to follow it up with a little pinch off his own backboard. Cannot get the touch. I think Astral trusted him a little bit there to do at least something with that ball. Unfortunately, doesn't happen. Sandrock Gaming warming up into this game, and with 2 minutes left, they can definitely take this one.
It is very interesting to see, I guess, panic almost from Chaussette running back to defense. Again, maybe more used to the threes game mode where you're more likely to have somebody on at all times. So Chaussette will be looking to get this one down the right-hand side. Flicks it over one, but Ahmad challenges well. Now it's a 1v1 situation, but Astral, he is one of the best ones players we've seen so far in this tournament. And won't get beaten.
And here we another opportunity for Ahmad. Can't quite get it. And as we said with Oxygen, Yummy, this 2v2 lineup, Astral, we talk about his mechanics, but Chaussette as well. You only have to go back to to DreamHack Montreal, where this guy was just on another level, completely 1v3ing people. And I mean, this has to be an exciting combination if they can really make it work.
Oh yeah, and they've probably had the last week practicing. I think leading up to the Fusion tournament, a lot of teams didn't really think about the fact that twos was an important part of their victory in this tournament. And maybe that 1 week has been enough. I'd expect that they would have needed more time. And of course, this is a long best of 7 and even 40 seconds left in this one as O'Callaghan has the open net based off that bump, but Chaussette will stay behind. 2 players challenge. Hard to lose the 75-25.
With 30 seconds left now, Sandrock Gaming need that equaliser. Trying to find it here is Ahmed. He comes forward. There's Astral, perfect shadow defense. Is that what that guy can do so well? He can just buy time. He's an absolute pest on the field, Yummy. I know firsthand.
Chaussette will take that one high. Astral keeping us away. 10 seconds left on the clock. O'Callaghan has to do something. The flip reset doesn't work out, but did fake out O'Callaghan as the clock is about to hit 0. It stays high though, and O'Callaghan does not have control of this one. It is going to hit the ground, and Oxygen surprising everyone with the first game win after scoring 2 goals in the first 10 seconds.
A little bit of an upset for game number 1, but yeah, as you just mentioned, 2 goals in the first 10 seconds. After that, Sandrock Gaming brought it back 2-1. So it's not the end of the world for Sandrock Gaming. I'm sure they'll be warming up into this series, and just a little bit of a slow start, a few kickoff goals, and then Sandrock Gaming's luck, as the chat would like to put it, really came back in, and they did bang 2 home, but it wasn't quite enough to come back from that 3-goal deficit. But, I think that, moving on to game 2 now, game 2 and 3, we really see Sandrock Gaming coming to their own. I think they'll be right.
I guess if you want to stick with the theme of yesterday as well, you look at the match, and not the cleanest one. 2 kickoff goals for Oxygen, and Sandrock Gaming, one of theirs was an own goal at the other end after a fortunate bounce. So, realistically, it could have been a 1-1. That means at least that it is a close affair too, and I fully expect, as you said, for Sandrock Gaming to warm up into this one. This one, game number 2, should be a real indicator, I think, of how the rest of the series is going to go.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's certainly an important game, although it is a best of 7, Yummy, and people say, there's a lot of time to come back. You still need to get the runs on the board. You still need to get those wins on the board early. So important. As now we don't see a kickoff goal, which is probably good for Sandrock Gaming's sake, as Astral's now on the ball. What can he do with this? He's going for the air dribble cross goal. Can't quite get it, but Chaussette with a follow-up, puts it in the right-hand side of the post, and that one's going to go in. Oxygen, again, starting off their account early in the game.
A great boundary to start this one. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. It does not take long for these guys to score. And this is not... I was not looking good for SRG when I always consider that their kickoff game in twos should be or is one of the best in Europe.
And we talked about it yesterday, Yummy, with Stormtroopers. We had apparently Jack, who was just that individual abilities. Callie gets a flick, Astral puts it away, but that individual ability to just beat a player out and then the other teammate coming through to just polish off the open net. Now you've got Oxygen, Yummy, with 2, individually mechanical players who can really create and beat some opponents. So Callie does get an open net, and he does get the equaliser. As I said, Oxygen looking dangerous, but then you have Sandrock Gaming, and these 2 are unstoppable when they're on.
Astral had a failed wave dash on the wall, it looked like. As he ended up just flipping straight forward. You cannot give those opportunities away, as there's a great double touch off the roof. And Astral played very well so far. First real slip up from him, as they are holding this one out of the defenses. The 1v1 players, as you said, might be what comes crucial for me for SRG. And they've got 2 players who are so known for their ones. Chaussette obviously does have, I guess, a skill set that comes out of ones, but isn't necessarily known as a top ones player. And that might be their slight advantage, if they can find some room on the ball.
Ahmad nearly just put someone away with a power shot. It was a little bit too close for comfort there for Oxygen, but they do parry that away. Certainly a closer game here, and game number 2 is Chaussette. with the power shot, just finds a little opening and he just hates it.
And you compare this to the synergy that we saw last week in the qualifiers. Astral and Sure Set are finding each other well, they're rotating in each other well, and that's just setting up, I guess, goals that look way more simple than they need to be. That one was just great pressure on the net that led to an open goal.
Oxygen, a little bit of surprise packet. Obviously, you know, these guys are insane, but in terms of a 2v2 team and how they performed in the qualifiers as well, Yummy, you wouldn't be expecting them to be taking it up to Sandrock Gaming as much as they are, but I'm not sure if Sandrock are really playing at their best at the moment. We'll have to see. O'Callaghan goes to the bum. He does get it, but he hits the ball away, but Ahmad does clean it up. Great play from O'Callaghan, beating 2 defenders.
And this is the 1v1 play, the time for O'Callaghan, and he takes out 2 players at the same time in order to tie this up. This is where it gets scary. If they got any time on the ball, they might be able to make some big plays. And you are expected to get some time on the ball when you're up against Sure Set. Very defensive player overall, something that I think favors Astral, who likes playing aggressive. So it is definitely going to happen that you will get that time, and O'Callaghan almost gets dunked over into his own net, but it will continue as this back and forth in that back right corner.
And Oxygen as well, Yummy, with the all-important French comms, which are so fondly talked about with these all-French teams. I'm sure it'll be crucial in this sort of a matchup as Chaussette sends that one downfield. A little bit of a lull in this game now, scores a level. And with such a low scoring, I guess you could say, game number 1, they're just both looking to break that deadlock and lock this game out.
I definitely think you're actually pretty on the money with the whole French comms thing. In terms of twos, you know, most of these players probably aren't used to comming very much in twos compared to their threes. So being able to do it in your native language is going to make you that bit more comfortable. We'll see if the synergy does end up continuing, I guess, for Oxygen. Obviously, Ahmad and Khaled, they have the synergy already. They've played together for so long now, and that is a great push through on the line.
You can have all the mechanics in the world, Yummy, but sometimes you just need a little bit of brute force, and Ahmad just banks that one in on the line. 50-50 sure set. And as you said, you can just staunch some people sometimes. You don't need all the flashy moves. You just need a strong Fennec.
They've played for the 50s so far, and now it's put Oxygen on the back foot as the double is coming through for Astral, but it gets cleared away by O'Callaghan. Now it's Oxygen in a dangerous area as that ball gets in front of net, and Ahmad will finish that one off. Some more rough defense coming out here as Chaussette did not know whether the shot was on target or not till the last second.
Yeah, not a great clear there from Chaussette. And Sandrock Gaming now up 2 goals in game number 2. Starting to warm up. This is more the Sandrock that we expect to see. And it's all about Oxygen Esports now. How do they respond? Chaussette, a little bit of time on the ball. A little bit of space. Does get around one. O'Callaghan does find his way back and clear that one all the way down the other end of the field.
It's good to see some more aggression coming out from SRG because they do have some really beautiful attacks, and again, mostly based off what you'd expect from plays in one, some big solo plays. As Astral looking for a solo play of his own, it doesn't quite work out. The pinch has gone in favor of SRG, and they won't even mind that they can't score off that opportunity. They are 2 goals up, 40 seconds remaining, and all they need to do is hold on for now. Chaussette and Astral trying desperately, throwing everything in the book at this goal. But it does not look like it is going to be enough as Ahmad puts another one on and Chaussette has to make a save right in front of the net.
Not the best touch there from Chaussette on the counter-attack. Did have a 2v1 opportunity and just couldn't get much to work. But, I mean, you saw O'Callaghan there. He was reversing halfway down the field. I mean, he's looking comfortable. And as Sandrock Gaming warm up into this series, they're going to be so deadly. Here's an opportunity for Chaussette, though. Can he put it away? No, he can't crossbar. No! Ahmad puts it in. That's a classic own goal there. A little bit unfortunate for Sandrock Gaming. But there's an opportunity now, Yummy, for Oxygen Esports. 5 seconds left. Anything is possible. 2v2.
I'm starting to feel at home. I'm comfortable. I'm seeing the own goals that are normally so prevalent in our region. And it is coming out for both ends here. 1 second remaining. Can that go in on the other end? It's currently stuck on the oxygen half, not where they want to be, but it will hit the ground, and Sandrock equalize the series and certainly make this an interesting one.
Yeah, certainly a much more solid game number 2 there from Sandrock Gaming. They didn't concede that early 2 goals. They did actually concede an early goal, but only the one this time, Yummy, and that was enough to really bring it back in that game and yeah, really lock it out. Looking strong at the moment, Sandrock Gaming, working on that sort of 1v2. I know a lot of the chat are going, what's going on right now? It feels like a 1v2. Welcome to the 2v2 game mode, firstly, but they've definitely been good at just beating one defender, beating 2 defenders, and then that second guy coming in to clean it up. And yeah, looking strong.
It's very interesting, a lot of solo players coming out from Sandrock, and are we seeing a substitute? That would be a surprise. I'm expecting Ahmad to come back into the lobby. But Josette and Astral, they've got a different game mode, a different game plan. Seems to be all about pressure, about eventually making that defense break. Harder to execute in 2s, but they're managing to make it work. And we know, I think, if Oxygen want to try and bring this one back in the next time, that they have those solo goals. They can change it up a little bit. And if we see Astral maybe setting up some goals for Josette, then that could be their way through this SRG defense.
Yeah, Oxygen Esports still looking strong. Again, it was only a 1-goal game, Yummy. They certainly did have an opportunity right at the death there to close that 1-goal lead, but certainly not out of this one, and quite impressive so far, if I do say so myself, for Oxygen Esports. So looking pretty good, but here's Ocala now. He's warming up, gets the flip reset, beats 2 defenders. What a way to start game number 3.
What a monster. This is the luckiest 1v2 I've ever seen. Got a lucky flip reset. Luckily beats out Astral at the same time. And oh man, I just love watching this guy. They're both of them, Ahmad and O'Callaghan, have been getting solo play after solo play throughout this 2v2, and we're just 3 goals in, but that comes off the defender. It goes the other way, and it pinches the full length of the pitch.
All luck there, Sandrock Gaming. Do they have any skill at all? We don't even know at this point. We've had a lucky flip reset, as you said, Yummy, and what a redirect there from Chaussette. That is absolutely pinged in from the other end of the field. Wowee, 2-0 now. We talk about Sandrock starting slow. All of a sudden, they're the ones with that early lead.
Oh, I fully expect that is not going to make Chaussette at all happy, and Astral, potentially a few sighs on his side of the pitch at the same time. 2-0 now. Not looking good, but that's looking great. Oh, what a save from Ahmad. It continues on. It feels so frustrating here for Oxygen as they can't break the defense. Every time they get close, it gets pinched back to their other end. Josette takes that one high. A chance now for Astral to follow it up, but they're actually going to let Ahmad commit to that. Maybe drain away a little bit of the boost as O'Callaghan, he's low as well, but he picks up the corner boost, and that's going to be so crucial for SRG to get out of defense, especially if both Astral and Chaussette lose a little bit of that synergy and go all the way back to net.
Sandrock Gaming looking so comfortable right now, getting that field position and that presence as well around the field, Yummy. You saw it just then, as you said, Oxygen's just going all the way back, because there's an open net for Astral. All of a sudden, though, Oxygen get one out of nowhere.
It really did feel like it just wasn't meant to be, but O'Callaghan had already pushed forward. The trust for Ahmad was there. He expected a big play around that corner, and sometimes that's just what happens in 2s. You take the risk, you push a little too far forward, and here's the fake kickoff play coming out as Ahmad, he just needs to pinch it across. He ends up pinching it too far forward. But those are the kickoff strategies we fully come to expect from SRG as they try to get back their 2-goal lead.
And that's when you know Sandrock are looking comfortable, Yummy. They're going for these fake kickoffs, and I tell you what, if he managed to pinch that across to O'Callaghan, that would have been something special. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off, but I do love the attempt early on here in game number 3 is a massive flip reset from Astral. Chaussette not quite ready for the follow-up. Here's Ahmed, though. Can he get the double touch? Great free jump read from Chaussette.
I don't think anyone was ready for the follow-up on that. How do you expect so much power upwards from that flip reset from Astral? They end up not going in favor of either team, and now as it sits in the defense, it is a 1v1. Chaussette, the dribble master from 2019, cannot make that performance repeat as, again, it's gone back. A great pass up to O'Callaghan. Can he get the double? No, he leaves it for Ahmad, and this attack will continue. A solo play coming out from Ahmad. Cannot get the flip reset. I think Astral read that very well. He read it perfectly as it's now down the other end. Astral ties up the game.
There is the equalizer they were looking for, and Oxygen Esports, just a little bit of pace there. Perhaps Sandrock getting a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too aggressive, and an open net there from Astral. Easy as you like, and with the scores tied up, and you'd have to think the pressure's gone back onto Sandrock now as Oxygen Esports looking to aggress and perhaps take that lead.
I don't even think it was as easy as it really looked either, because Ahmad was an inch away from getting that flip reset, and that was the difference between beating Astral or not. On the other end, Astral read that one perfectly, that he hadn't got the flip reset. It challenged it very confidently, and that's what allowed him to get the goal. Another flip reset coming up, but O'Callaghan goes underneath, a great fake, but gets perfectly read by Chaussette at the same time. It's still here in the defense, though, and Ahmad steals away the boost. Chaussette will get that mid boost to make up for it. As we talked about yesterday, there's a lot more boost available in the twos, so stealing it away, not quite as impactful as it is in threes.
Absolutely. As there's a minute 20 left, we've had a little bit of a lull in this game. Again, as soon as the scores get low, but here's Astral, goes to the shot, does get it in. O'Callaghan can't get the save. Saved the flip and absolutely timed that to perfection. Have a look at Astral off the sidewall, so fast, giving O'Callaghan no time to react.
It wasn't a lull, it was just the calm before the storm off that wall. Again, great solo plays coming out from both sides of the pitch, especially when it comes to Astral and O'Callaghan. That matchup is a beautiful one, and I think it's also a matchup that we might see in the ones later on in the tournament if it does go that way. O'Callaghan, he's found it, he's over the top, and he's tied it up again. This is a very back and forth affair, so close between these two teams.
Have a look at O'Callaghan instantly tying it back up, and that's got to be a little bit painful for Astral. He scores such an awesome goal, and then straight away O'Callaghan, they bang it back that open net. I should say, and 3-3 now with a minute left. This is an absolute quality 2v2, and as we said with the qualifiers, Oxygen not performing perhaps as well as they want to, but right now, whether they just went and grinded all week or something, Yummy, I'm not too sure. We might have to find out. But they're looking so comfortable against one of the best 2v2 combinations in the world.
It's definitely a surprise performance, but not a surprise, I'd say, given the mechanics of these two, and also Chaussette and Astral. I think they have been playing for a reasonable amount of time together before this. They are good friends off the pitch and have been before being teammates at the same time. So I always know they hang out a lot at LAN, but maybe they've been hanging out in the two spaces. 10 seconds left. It looks like we will see ourselves in overtime as O'Callaghan, one last chance to try and make something work, is actually giving the ball away to Astral. That's a dangerous affair. Astral over one, over two. Astral on the 0-second mark takes the game.
Look at the composure from Astral. 0 seconds, he doesn't care. Gets around Ahmad. O'Callaghan left like a stunned mullet in net. No idea what was happening. Gets it flicked into the left-hand side of the goal. Oxygen Esports coming out with a little bit of a comeback victory there in Astral. That's the mechanics you'd love to see. 0 seconds, Yummy. How about the composure on the kid?
And Sandrock had played that so well until the last moment. O'Callaghan just pushed that ball away straight to Astral, straight into a little bit of space. And you kind of almost expect it to happen when Astral has the ball. That's the power of the European MVP, even when he's not playing threes. 4 goals off 5 shots in this game, and obviously it doesn't take much brain power. Even UCJ could understand that 4 goals from one player is probably going to win you the game.
Unbelievable. Definitely put Chaussette on his back there in that game, and that's just what Astro can do. I mean, we saw it with Dignitas back on that roster in the 3v3 lineup. He can just get goals out of nothing, and to have a play like that on your team, especially in a 2v2 format, Yummy, where he does get a little bit more time and space to work with, that can be so deadly, and we saw that in that game as well. Even on 0 seconds, man. That's outstanding to have that composure and to beat two defenders whilst keeping the ball up. That's what you love to see, and it's certainly a confidence booster for Oxygen moving on further into the series.
I mean, Oxygen take the advantage, but honestly, I'm just loving this matchup. I think I came in here a little bit prejudiced against 2v2. You know, I watched 3v3. I love it. It's the game mode. I think that's a hard knock towards 2v2 when I think realistically the reason threes ends up being so exciting for me is just because there's all this high quality threes going on. But now that we get to see some real quality 2v2, some great solo plays, and even some epic own goal moments, it is all the more exciting. And Astral actually finds that angle. I was ready to just talk about this going around the corner, but apparently this is scoreable, CJ.
You cannot give him any room whatsoever, Yummy. He squeezes that into a tiny little pocket of the goal, and that's the speed from Astral. And that's the pressure that he puts on the other team as well. You just never know when he's going to go for it. He's got so much pace about him. He's so individually skilled as Ahmad absolutely smacks that up on the crossbar, and O'Khaled cannot do much with it.
It's also really painful for either team to get scored on throughout this. Sure, they know that there's plenty of opportunity to score on the other end, but neither team have really been giving away free goals either. Neither have been overcommitting like we saw yesterday, and playing it like it was a threes match. These guys have both really put in their homework when it comes to twos and are figuring out exactly how to play without giving an inch.
Here's Chaussette though, it goes for an air dribble, and O'Khaled a little bit stuck on the crossbar there, but all worked out fine as O'Khaled now gets a little 1v1 opportunity, goes to the power shot, and that's what O'Khaled is known for best, those bounce dribbles. He smacks that into the top right corner and levels up this game.
This is so deadly, and every time O'Khaled has it, he always just seems to be able to place it in the perfect spot with so much power. I don't even know how you defend that at some point, because there's a doomed if you do, doomed if you don't, in terms of challenging. Do you challenge and get beaten when you make the challenge, or do you just try and shadow and hope that your teammate can come in and save the day? That is the power of O'Khaled. He's been a big performer so far in this series as well, alongside Astral. On a piece at the moment as O'Khaled looks to try and make this another, but will instead just make sure to take the possession away.
Yeah, Ahmad was demoed there, and I love the way that O'Khaled instantly took it to the wall and just bought a little bit of time to try and keep that pressure on us. Didn't quite work out, but that's the composure you need. You don't want to be throwing the ball away, and you do not want to be giving Astral or Chaussette any time in this sort of a format in the 2v2 game mode as well, as we talk about, with so much space as Astral just bumps Khaled away, and Chaussette, that's not the best touch. Almost an opportunity for Ahmad there, and perhaps still one, as the ball just didn't quite get a favourable bounce. Khaled tries to bang it straight on net, but Astral knew that was wide the whole way.
A touch from Chaussette is a bit fortunate that it rolled up the wall, because it would have been a goal if it bounced out into mid. Now O'Khaled is looking for the pass, but Astral's just straight up beating them. A speed demon here in the mid, 2-1 now, and it's just so dangerous anytime you're looking for this pass if you don't execute it perfectly.
You said it perfectly yourself, Yummy. You really need to hit that, and hitting it straight and off the ceiling, that just left Astral with all the room in the world to beat Ahmad to the ball there. And O'Khaled, not the best hit. I liked looking for the pass opportunity, but out of defense there, you have to be so measured and precise, especially when you've got Astral on the other side of the pitch, raining down your neck.
And that is the NA clear, as it's referred to affectionately in OC. You have the EU clear, which is a banger, one end of the pitch to the other off the backboard. The NA,
OCE?
which is hitting the roof or the ground. And the OCE, which of course is just whiffing the ball off the back.
Awesome. As Chaussette gets a little flick over the top, gets it in the right-hand corner. This was a little dainty flick, Yummy. I quite like this one.
Yeah, showing his dribbling prowess, and I think as well, it looked like he wasn't going to get that much on it, but he got way more power, floated in over the top, and made it very difficult for the defense. Well, all of a sudden, we're having a 2-goal difference. It's been reasonably rare in this series. Of course, it started out with a 2-goal difference, but now our close games might be to an end if Oxygen can continue. SRG are on the back foot. Astral, he takes it high, even went for the double, but it wasn't quite on target. No Khaled, what could he do with this one? The solo play doesn't take it over the top of Pure Set. He just manages to get the 50, but is still in the hands of Ahmad. Looks for the fake. He gets dunked, and Khaled will get back in time. Difficult situation at the moment as Oxygen starting to pile on the pressure at the other end. 1 minute 20 remaining, so plenty of time for Sandrock Gaming.
Even the composure there as Joel Set nearly puts one away, finds one in the near post, and Oxygen's looking so comfortable right now and not really giving Sandrock any room to breathe. We saw Astral just defensively, he's just always getting his little nose of that Fennec onto any opportunity from Sandrock and just getting in the way. As here's a bounce dribble opportunity for Joel Set. He does get it behind it, he gets it behind Khaled as well. I love the composure, and what a play there from Chaucet.
He does it so well. He's really, I guess, stepped up in this one. After Astral got 4 goals, he set himself a challenge to really step up in the game and make sure that he put his mark in, and 2 big dribbles in a row. This might be our biggest victory so far. It's going to be incredibly difficult now for SRG to come back.
SRG right now just giving Oxygen too much room to work with here, Yummy. That's the real difference right now. We see every time it goes down into Sandrock's end, we see, Astral banging that ball straight back in, but with a little bit of room to breathe, you get Chaucet doing stuff like this, just playing around with Sandrock's defense, and that's going to be so dangerous. We'll have to see a little bit more as Ahmad just leaves the ball completely, tries to bump Astral, and Astral nearly buries it in. Or Chaucet, sorry. As we said, Oxygen just looking so comfortable on the pitch.
Oh yeah, it's a tough situation as well because Oxygen are playing this so well. They're just hitting the ball and not committing too much to anything. So there's really no opportunities even possible at the moment for Sandrock Gaming. First chance of attack, but it is way too late. And Oxygen, they're all of a sudden 3-1 up in this series, CJ.
Oxygen, we talk about these back and forth series, but right now, Oxygen, when you're 3-1 up, it's tough to come back from. A best of 7, you're definitely going to need that mental fortitude, and we'll have to see that coming out from Ashton and from Khaled and Ahmad here, rather. Looking so strong and just having that defensive capability, to just really lock that out and not giving, Khaled, he had that opportunity for that one bounce dribble goal that we saw where he buried into the top right corner. But apart from that, they just haven't had that time to work with, and that's really been the difference here and the reason why Oxygen are now 3-1 up in the series.
Yeah, and that was the most dominating performance so far in the series. 15 shots to 3, and in terms of twos, the more shots, the better. It's not like threes where you might have those players rushing. You're more likely to have, I guess, less defense. There's 2 players in the defense, so sneaking one past is that little bit easier. You kind of see it in the scoreline as well, of course. 4-1, the biggest scoreline difference throughout the series at any point in time, and it ends up being the case at the end of this game. So now Sandrock, who were touted by, I think, all 3 of us as the favorites in this series, now need to get 3 in a row to make sure that they are on top of the table. But Oxygen will be trying to start off their tournament as strong as possible if they are able to get through this match point situation.
Yeah, their backs are certainly against the wall right now, but these 2 are so good. As there it is, the Saudi kickoff, and it comes off as well. The demo coming out from Ahmad, that's what you want to see. If you're not familiar with this kickoff, it's the fake and then the demo on the cheater. And that's what we were waiting to see. It took them until game number 5 to bring it out, but there it is. What a way to start off when all the pressure's on you, Yummy.
I also just think some of the power of that is just the fact that, sure, they've scored on it now, but the next time they have to worry about it again, and they'll get another kickoff off of it. This goes over the top of Astral. They didn't quite play it right as Khaled finds just the crossbar and off the defender.
Yeah, O'Callaghan, one of the best strikers in the world, Yummy. The way that he times that ball is incredible. Those bounce dribbles that he's so known for, I mean, his timing is so good. I don't know if it's the Fennec. Maybe I should get on the Fennec hype.
There's nothing that'll
three in
do
this.
It's not the car that's the problem there.
Okay. Damn it. Oh, well.
It's 2-0 now. And Oxygen have a long road back into this game, but it is a long amount of time at the same point. 420 as Chaussette looks to move that into middle. Astral against the backboard. And we've seen this earlier on in the series where Oxygen tried to set up some pressure, and they may be able to do it here as O'Callaghan has ran out of boost. It's all on Ahmad to give him some time. Astral over the top, but Ahmad has done so much work when his teammate had no boost, when his teammate was in a dire situation. Ahmad gets the 50s, he gets the demos, and he saves the day.
And look at the aggression coming out in this game. This is what you want to see from Sandrock, is Ahmad puts that up and O'Callaghan choosing to sit back, but certainly much more presence around the field now. And saying that though, Chaussette gets that one over the top of Khaled and gets one back here, and a little bit of hesitation there from Khaled, which is not what you want to see when your backs are against the wall 3-1 down in the series.
Yeah, and as you said, aggression was the key. O'Callaghan ran all the way back. He gave Chaussette room, and Chaussette has shown in the last game that you give him a bit of space and the dribbles will just be too good. The flicks over the top of the defense, so hard to defend. Now it is a one-goal game again. What was such a good early lead off those first two kickoff goals starting to dissipate away. O'Callaghan really looking to get this to the other end. He does brilliantly to get it over the top of Chaussette. Astral has to just spend the time to allow Chaussette to get back as well. Astral, any room on that ball? You're expecting him to get a good flip reset, and honestly, Sandrock Gaming dealing with it well. Know the power of those flip resets at the same time and challenge it early.
Yeah, those early challenges are so important, and I think I might have just cast the curse Khaled there earlier. Talking about his aggression is here he goes. Can he bury that in top left, top right? Sorry, no he can't. But they need to keep this aggression up. They can't afford to hesitate against a team like Oxygen. As Astral gets a flip reset, O'Callaghan puts it away, and Ahmad just clears it off Chaussette's shot. So close there from Oxygen. Almost putting that one away and equalising this game.
They're really throwing a lot at these balls. Both teams really diving for it. Chaussette as that last man, even going for a risky backboard play. So again, they're the ones behind. Maybe that's the difference of this midfield game where it goes back and forth. It's more likely for SRG to be in the lead. Maybe the more composed team after all. As Oxygen desperate to try and equalize here and get this done in just 5 games.
Sandrock Gaming, whoever. Oh, hang on a minute. Top left corner almost goes in. But as we said, Yummy, Sandrock Gaming backs against the wall, but they have taken this lead and they've looked so good in this game. And that's what you want to see when the pressure's at its highest.
It goes to their favor too that they have been, I'd say, the more composed of the two teams. If they can find a strategy and a way to consistently get these wins, then that 3 games in a row is more possible. Of course, they had to rely on 2 kickoff goals to start off this streak, but they'll take it and they'll use that to try and find other ways to open up the net as Ahmad now getting in the mix and getting that flick over too.
Ahmad getting that 2-goal buffer, so crucial for Sandrock Gaming in this game. And what a lovely little shot there. Had the ball in the roof of his car, popped it off for a moment, and then banged it into the top left. That's what you want to see from Sandrock Gaming. Great composure and great presence as well as Ahmad gets another kickoff goal. That's 3 kickoff goals now for Sandrock Gaming in this game alone.
He just seems not just Ahmad, but angry as he just has decided O'Callaghan's been getting too much of the spotlight. He's now in here, 2 big goals in a row. And I think we talked about last game, it was a 4-1 for Oxygen. We were worried that was lights out for SRG, but all of a sudden, new life in this Sandrock Gaming roster. Astral looking for something of his own, and he almost gets that in. He sets it up for Chaussette. And 2-4, they're not quite down and out just yet.
Astral faking the musty flick there, and that's the presence that these mechanical players have on the pitch. I mean, you just never know what they're going to do, and a little bit of hesitation coming out from Sandrock Gaming was all Astral needed there. Faking out too, and easy as a luckfish or set.
Khaled and Ahmad, they've played plenty of ones. They know how to play this situation without taking too many risks. Chance for them to still just hold on to this lead despite that last goal. 53 seconds left on the clock. They are playing it very well as Khaled gets given an open net by Ahmad, and that should secure this game and make it that much more possible to come back in the series.
We talked about the forfeit button yesterday. I'd nearly be hitting it at this point, Yummy. 46 seconds left, 3 goals. Certainly is possible, but with the way Sandrock's been handling their kickoffs this game, it is going to be a mountain of a task, as now Sandrock do win that kickoff and just gain a little bit of possession. Sure set with the early challenge, does knock that one away, but we should see Sandrock Gaming, Yummy, taking this one out and just controlling the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, really well done by Sandrock too. I mean, at the start of this game, you know, you start questioning their ability to come back because they relied on 2 kickoff goals, but now they've really secured it. Well, of course, that one from Astral will put a few more doubts in their head, but it's still a very solid victory overall, and they've found the way to score, I'd say. Knowing that they can both make solo plays is really making it more difficult to defend when you've got 2 players all of a sudden being so threatening on your net.
Well, there's a little bit of a sniff now for Oxygen Esports, Yummy, and we saw the 0-second goal from Astral earlier on in the series. So if they do get one here, anything is possible, but look at Khaled just running that ball back and Ahmad killing time on the clock. Very professional finish there from Sandrock Gaming. They stay alive in the series. They peg one more back, but they still need 2 more games here in a row, Yummy.
They certainly do, and for Sandrock Gaming, again, this is the chance to get onto the top of the ladder, but also, you know, I had them pegged as maybe the best twos team in Europe. Maybe there's obviously Vitality and a couple of others there that could challenge them for that title. That means they also rely on their twos win to really get on the top of the ladder. They might not be able to rely so much on threes, and so this is really important for them to come back. To see, because they have controlled this one so well, but we know how powerful Astral and Chauset can be when they just pop up.
100% Yummy Cheese, man, as we look to get into game number 6
These are full
here.
names now, Cameron Johns.
Yummy_Cheese, man, David Lane. Getting into game number 6, we saw Sandrock just then, Yummy. Their backs were against the wall. They do need those 3 games in a row. Any mistake could be, you know, hugely costly. And then we see the Spanish kickoff or the Saudi kickoff coming out. We saw another kickoff goal. We saw the poise and just the aggression as well. We saw a moment of hesitation there from Khaled earlier on in the game. But then we just saw that aggression and that field presence and that composure from Sandrock Gaming. And that's what we need to see in these last 2 games. Perhaps this last game if they don't do this. However, they are such a good twos outfit that I'm sure that they can bring this back to a game number 7. And I think that'd do the series justice, Yummy, having a game number 7 from what we've seen so far.
I think you nailed the nail on the head when you said poise. You know, when it comes to Sandrock Gaming, no matter what, if they're up or down, they seem like the same team. For Oxygen, when they're down a goal, they seem to panic a little bit more. They seem to really push harder for that goal. So for Oxygen, if they want to win a game to finish out the series, they're going to need to get that first goal, and that's not going to go for them. Ahmad secures the first one and really puts them in the driver's seat.
Look at Ahmad nailing the nail on the head there. Gets that ball off the crossbar and follows it up himself. Little bit of luck with the follow-up there, but Sandrock Gaming, that's a great way to start here in game number 6. They need this win to stay alive, and shots like that are going to help so much for their chances here in this series.
Chance now for Oxygen to try and bring this one back as it does hit the backboard, but Ahmad recovered perfectly considering how disastrous that first play was. A fake from Astral over the top. Is Chorset there to finish? No, it will be Ahmad instead, taking that one away. Chorset does rotate in to try and continue this pressure. O'Khaled has plenty of boost to deal with it, but maybe not so much now that it is high up in the air. Astral can get the double touch. It's in front of net. Chorset commits. He really pushes hard for this extra goal. He does manage to get the 50 to stop it going the other end. Now we're seeing Chorset. He's got the open net. He takes it past the last and he ties it up.
Massive misplay there coming out from Ahmad. Perhaps trusted Khaled a little bit too much, but I think he thought he was going to cut it on the inside of him there, Yummy, and Chorset opts to just take it down the line and get that straight past Ahmad. Scores a level. What a game we have here.
A lot of trust between all of these teammates, but especially O'Khaled and Ahmad. You know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he knows how many times O'Khaled is going to beat the opponent in that situation. And that just means it was an even better challenge, and Astral gets the lead. All of a sudden, this is switched up.
A little bit of a feels backflip here from O'Khaled. Launches back. Not sure if he would have had the save anyway. He was certainly a little bit out of position there. And Astral punishes them. And Oxygen now, 2-1 up. They take the lead in this game. And all the pressure on Sandrock Gaming. Can they come back? If they do lose this, they obviously lose the series and are out of the 2v2 bracket.
It really feels like this series has evolved completely. I mean, earlier on we were talking about how great the solo plays were, how fantastic their mechanics were. Well, in this last game right now, we're seeing just great 50-50 plays, very controlled forward pressure, especially coming out from Oxygen. And they're doing it again, just setting up a 50, not going for anything nuts to try and open up the net. And we might see a bit more coming out from O'Khaled as he gets that over one. It's not past Chorset, but it has caused them to commit. Ahmad has that on target. He gets it in, and that is a massive play for Sandrock.
Yeah, it all started with O'Khaled just getting that shot there. Not the best clear from Chorset, and what a shot from Ahmad coming off the corner post there, or the corner wall. What a shot. Leveling it up here. When the pressure's on, you need some huge solo plays or perhaps some absolute cracking shots, and that's what we had right there. A solo play followed up by... He didn't have much room to work with his Astral there. Can he get it straight off the kickoff? No, he can't quite read it off the crossbar. So close there. Almost taking the lead back once again.
The beauty and power of Sandrock Gaming's play there too was the fact that O'Khaled got it from all the way at the other end. Again, that just gets in your opponent's head. Oxygen are now going to be thinking, you know, do we give them the space at their end, knowing that there's a potential for a goal? So Ahmad doesn't quite get the flick, and now Astral has a lot of space. It is a 2v2. Ahmad and O'Khaled are back, and Ahmad goes for the fake challenge, but it has left room. A big flip reset from Astral, just keep popping off time and again.
Way too much space once again for Astral, and this is what he does every time. He gets the bounce off the ground. It wasn't even the flip reset, Yummy. We've seen that from Chorset back at Beyond the Summit, I believe, and I haven't seen a goal like it since. Little bit of a nose tap on the ground, and what a shot from Astral with a little bit of space. Is Chorset now off the kickoff. Astral does tap that one in, but I think it might have already been going all the way. Oxygen, all of a sudden, 2 goals out of nowhere.
I can't believe it. What a massive goal from Astral, and then follow it up with the goal steal of his own. Love it. 4-2 now, and we was talking about it. Oxygen look the better team when they are ahead. So SRG are going to have to try and rectify this situation very quickly. But when we saw a 2-goal lead earlier on in the series, Oxygen just stopped taking any risks. They started just hitting the ball away from themselves and letting, I guess, SRG be the ones to panic. And that makes it so much more difficult for them to come back in this game. Ahmad has to do something here as he does fake it underneath, but Chorset does well to get a touch on the ball.
As there's another open opportunity. Is this going in? Oh no, just off the post. I thought that might have extended Oxygen's lead to 3, and that would have been quite an unassailable lead there for Sandrock Gaming. And they really need a little bit of luck, as the chat likes to say, as Astral is giving them absolutely none at all. Lovely save there off the top of the crossbar. Sandrock Gaming, it's all in. The ball is all in their court now. 2 goals, 1 minute left. Can they do it? Ahmad, little bit of space. What can he do here? Flicks it in the top left. Gets it there. There it is. There's one of the goals. All they need is one more now to close that lead.
and they just know where to position off each other so well. O'Callaghan makes sure to just look like he's going to be about threaten a goal, and that forced Chaucet to not get the best 50-50 possible. That set it up for Ahmad, as now a one-goal game is a very different affair. This one goal can come from anywhere, and now 50 seconds left as it sits in the defense for Oxygen. Are we going to see a big solo player? Will it be the pressure of SRG that breaks the defense? Well, Chaucet does not want to not allow any chance for the attack to happen at all as he keeps it in the corner. A big clear again is going to go in the favor of Oxygen as they take Ahmad out of the game and send it in a difficult position for Ahmad to even be able to get onto the attack.
And I think we need some Lux in chat right now with 20 seconds left, and Sandrock Gaming trying to force overtime, trying to force game 7. O'Callaghan, oh, the bump comes out from Ahmad, and O'Callaghan puts that one away. There's the equaliser they needed right at the death in game number 6.
And maybe too much room given as well by Oxygen, but Ahmad just finds the defender. It was a 2v1 situation. He played it beautifully, and now tournament lives on the line for SRG. They just need one more goal to get us to a game number 7. But Astral, he ends up getting the bump. It's open. Astral, one into the other. It's a disaster for Sandrock.
Oh, where is O'Callaghan gone? He's gone an absolute... Oh, no, he's gone on an adventure to the left mid boost, and it's absolutely cost him perhaps the series, perhaps the 2v2 bracket here, as he just misses that left mid boost, and that is open. He went to Narnia. He opened the line. The Witch of the Wardrobe, and the ball comes out. Is that going to go in? Open net for Callaghan. Astral, no! Astral puts that one away. You are kidding. Oh, no, an open net for O'Callaghan, and he just misses it. Yummy cheese, man. What have we just witnessed?
How does it end like that? You knew the Sandrock Gaming were going to go for the kickoff. It was going to happen. I just can't believe that Astral was able to get there in time. Chaucet, the road bump. What a mountain of a man. Huge. All he had to do was get demoed, and it slowed the player just enough. Just that tiny bit that Astral was able to get back. And who would have thought that it was Chaucet's biceps that would end up winning a series for Oxygen?
What a crazy last 20 seconds, Yummy. We saw O'Callaghan take a trip to Timbuktu on the left mid boost, and he didn't even land there. He found his way up the wall somehow. So costing his team the lead, and then he had an open opportunity. There was a bump on Astral sort of that happened as he hit the ball, Yummy, or as he shot it. So you might be able to forgive him. It wasn't quite open, but unbelievable
that a lot
stuff
from Ahmad, though. You know, he went off to whoop whoop multiple times, expecting just so much more from O'Callaghan. But at the other end, Oxygen, of course, massive performance considering we didn't see very much from them in the qualifiers at all, CJ.
As Sandrock Gaming knocking themselves out of the 2v2 bracket. Obviously, we talk a lot about O'Callaghan in the 1v1, and obviously they're still alive in the 3v3 bracket as well. So they're certainly not out of the tournament if you are a fan of Sandrock Gaming. However, Oxygen Esports moving on, looking at so strong there. And yeah, props to them. Astral Chaucet, great combination. I'm so pumped to be able to follow them throughout the 2v2 bracket, Yummy.
Yeah, huge victory for Oxygen Gaming. All of a sudden, they are now, you know, in a position where they can win 3s, 1s, and 2s and put themselves in a great position on to the semi-finals. But coming up next, we have the 1v1 Dignitas versus Stormtroopers, an exciting matchup given their situation as Stormtroopers were knocked out of 2v2 yesterday. Stay tuned. Johnny Boy and Shogun will be right back after this break.
100% Yummy cheese, man, as we look to get into game number 6
These are full
here.
names now. Cameron Johns.
Yummy _ cheese, man, David Lane. Getting into game number 6, we saw Sandrock just then, Yummy. Their backs were against the wall. They do need those 3 games in a row. Any mistake could be, you know, hugely costly. And then we see the Spanish kickoff or the Saudi kickoff coming out. We saw another kickoff goal. We saw the poise and just the aggression as well. We saw a moment of hesitation there from O'Callaghan earlier on in the game. But then we just saw that aggression and that field presence and that composure from Sandrock Gaming. And that's what we need to see in these last 2 games. Perhaps this last game if they don't do this. However, They are such a good twos outfit that I'm sure that they can bring this back to a game number 7. And I think that'd do the series justice, Yummy, having a game number 7 from what we've seen so far.
I think you nailed the nail on the head when you said poise. You know, when it comes to Sandrock Gaming, no matter what, if they're up or down, they seem like the same team. For Oxygen, when they're down a goal, they seem to panic a little bit more. They seem to really push harder for that goal. So for Oxygen, if they want to win a game to finish out the series, they're going to need to get that first goal, and that's not going to go for them. Ahmad secures the first one and really puts them in the driver's seat.
Look at Ahmad nailing the nail on the head there. Gets that ball off the crossbar and follows it up himself. Little bit of luck with the follow-up there, but Sandrock Gaming, that's a great way to start here in game number 6. They need this win to stay alive, and shots like that are going to help so much for their chances here in this series.
Chance now for Oxygen to try and bring this one back as it does hit the backboard, but Ahmad recovered perfectly considering how disastrous that first play was. A fake from Astral over the top. Is Chorset there to finish? No, it will be Ahmad instead, taking that one away. Chorset does rotate in to try and continue this pressure. O'Khaled has plenty of boost to deal with it, but maybe not so much now that it is high up in the air. Astral can get the double touch. It's in front of net. Chorset commits. He really pushes hard for this extra goal. He does manage to get the 50 to stop it going the other end. Now we're seeing Chorset. He's got the open net. He takes it past the last and he ties it up.
Massive misplay there coming out from Ahmad. Perhaps trusted Khaled a little bit too much, but I think he thought he was going to cut it on the inside of him there, Yummy, and Chorset opts to just take it down the line and get that straight past Ahmad. Scores a level. What a game we have here.
A lot of trust between all of these teammates, but especially O'Khaled and Ahmad. You know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he knows how many times O'Khaled is going to beat the opponent in that situation. And that just means it was an even better challenge, and Astral gets the lead. All of a sudden, this is switched up.
A little bit of a feels backflip here from O'Khaled. Launches back. Not sure if he would have had to save anyway. He was certainly a little bit out of position there. And Astral punishes them. And Oxygen now, 2-1 up. They take the lead in this game. And all the pressure on Sandrock Gaming. Can they come back? If they do lose this, they obviously lose the series and are out of the 2v2 bracket.
It really feels like this series has evolved completely. I mean, earlier on we were talking about how great the solo plays were, how fantastic their mechanics were. Well, in this last game right now, we're seeing just great 50-50 plays, very controlled forward pressure, especially coming out from Oxygen. And they're doing it again, just setting up a 50, not going for anything nuts to try and open up the net. And we might see a bit more coming out from O'Khaled as he gets that over one. It's not past Chorset, but it has caused them to commit. Ahmad has that on target. He gets it in, and that is a massive play for Sandrock.
Yeah, it all started with O'Khaled just getting that shot there. Not the best clear from Chorset, and what a shot from Ahmad coming off the corner post there, or the corner wall. What a shot. Leveling it up here. When the pressure's on, you need some huge solo plays or perhaps some absolute cracking shots, and that's what we had right there. A solo play followed up by... He didn't have much room to work with his Astral there. Can he get it straight off the kickoff? No, he can't quite read it off the crossbar. So close there. Almost taking the lead back once again.
The beauty and power of Sandrock Gaming's play there too was the fact that O'Khaled got it from all the way at the other end. Again, that just gets in your opponent's head. Oxygen are now going to be thinking, you know, do we give them the space at their end, knowing that there's a potential for a goal? So Ahmad doesn't quite get the flick, and now Astral has a lot of space. It is a 2v2. Ahmad and O'Khaled are back, and Ahmad goes for the fake challenge, but it has left room. A big flip reset from Astral, just keep popping off time and again.
Way too much space once again for Astral, and this is what he does every time. He gets the bounce off the ground. It wasn't even the flip reset, Yummy. We've seen that from Chorset back at Beyond the Summit, I believe, and I haven't seen a goal like it since. Little bit of a nose tap on the ground, and what a shot from Astral with a little bit of space. Is Chorset now off the kickoff? Astral does tap that one in, but I think it might have already been going all the way. Oxygen, all of a sudden, 2 goals out of nowhere.
I can't believe it. What a massive goal from Astral, and then follow it up with the goal steal of his own. Love it. 4-2 now, and we was talking about it. Oxygen look the better team when they are ahead. So SRG are going to have to try and rectify this situation very quickly. But when we saw a 2-goal lead earlier on in the series, Oxygen just stopped taking any risks. They started just hitting the ball away from themselves and letting, I guess, SRG be the ones to panic. And that makes it so much more difficult for them to come back in this game. Ahmad has to do something here as he does fake it underneath, but Chorset does well to get a touch on the ball.
As there's another open opportunity. Is this going in? Oh no, just off the post. I thought that might have extended Oxygen's lead to 3, and that would have been quite an unassailable lead there for Sandrock Gaming. And they really need a little bit of luck, as the chat likes to say, as Astral is giving them absolutely none at all. Lovely save there off the top of the crossbar. Sandrock Gaming, it's all in. The ball is all in their court now. 2 goals, 1 minute left. Can they do it? Ahmad, little bit of space. What can he do here? Flicks it in the top left, gets it there. There it is. There's one of the goals. All they need is one more now to close that lead.
And they just know where to position off each other so well. O'Khaled makes sure to just look like he's going to be about threaten a goal, and that forced Chorset to not get the best 50-50 possible. That set it up for Ahmad, as now a 1-goal game is a very different affair. This 1 goal can come from anywhere. And now 50 seconds left as it sits in the defense for Oxygen. Are we going to see a big solo player? Will it be the pressure of SRG that breaks the defense? Well, Chorset does not want to not allow any chance for the attack to happen at all, as he keeps it in the corner. A big clear again is going to go in the favor of Oxygen as they take Ahmad out of the game and send it in a difficult position for Ahmad to even be able to get onto the attack.
And I think we need some lucks in chat right now with 20 seconds left, and Sandrock Gaming trying to force overtime, trying to force game 7. O'Khaled, oh, the bump comes out from Ahmad, and O'Khaled puts that one away. There's the equaliser they needed right at the death in game number 6.
And maybe too much room given as well by Oxygen, but Ahmad just finds the defender. It was a 2v1 situation. He played it beautifully, and now tournament lives on the line for SRG. They just need one more goal to get us to a game number 7. But Astral, he ends up getting the bump. It's open. Astral, one into the other. It's a disaster for Sandrock.
Oh, where is O'Khaled gone? He's gone on oh no, he's gone on an adventure to the left mid boost, and it's absolutely cost him perhaps the series, perhaps the 2v2 bracket here, as he just misses that left mid boost, and that is open. He went to Narnia. He opened the line. The witch of the wall open. The ball comes out. Is that going to go in? Open net for Khaled. Astral, no! Astral puts that one away. You are kidding. Oh no, an open net for O'Khaled, and he just misses it. Yummy cheese, man. What have we just witnessed?
How does it end like that? You knew the Sandrock Gaming were going to go for the kickoff. It was going to happen. I just can't believe that Astral was able to get there in time. Chorset, the road bump. What a mountain of a man. Huge. All he had to do was get demoed, and it slowed the player just enough. Just that tiny bit that Astral was able to get back. And who would have thought that it was Chorset's biceps that would end up winning a series for Oxygen?